Hello friends, Clage back with part 2 of the Rapid Pursuit Boss Guide, and we're going to talk about the Chiko fight today. And for my salt, this is probably the most forgiving of the 4 bosses in Rapid Pursuit. There's no limit to how many hits you can take to clear Infernal difficulty. You only need to complete, you basically just need to complete the run and not die. And the other challenges are all very easy to clear, kind of even on accident. Not getting hit by Hand of the Raging Tide is absurdly easy because this attack is honestly the least common one I ever see her use. Multiple fights that I got through, like, she never even launched this attack. And if she does, it's incredibly easy to dodge. So that you'll clear just by accident if you do the fight enough times. And not getting hit by Meteoric Requiem is also super easy to do. You just have to make sure you hold your Matrix long enough, and this is a pretty easy attack to deal with. So the extra missions you'll just kind of clear on accident. Getting the 2 parries on Inferno, if you follow even a modest amount of the tips I give you in this guide, you're going to do that by accident as well. So this is the one I don't think very many people are going to need a guide for. And honestly, I won't be shocked if almost no one watches this video because people are going to be like, why would I need a guide for this? But she is still has some various attacks that could be really obnoxious to deal with, and a couple of her things hit very, very hard. So it's very easy to make a small mistake and have this turn into a pretty ugly run pretty fast. But let's go ahead and go through it real quick, and I'll talk about how this fight works and how I like to approach it. And just like the other one, if you have any strategies you've figured out or anybody's shown you that make it even easier or alternate ways to clear all the missions for folks, feel free to leave those down in the comments. I'm happy to pin those and let people know, but I think this one's probably about the easiest one to handle overall. So my main approach to this fight is very simple. Bianca, as long as you have Matrix active, gets herself a massive window of iframes to kind of do what she wants with impunity, and that's done by doing the hold dodge when you have Matrix activate, so you can do the force proc Matrix into the big buildup, and then cancel that into her hold blue orb. Both of those things just have gigantic amounts of iframes on them, so you're not going to take any hits while you do it. And because the hold blue has so many hits within its attack frames, if Chiko does anything that can be parried, you're just going to automatically parry it. It's really easy to do. And the nice thing is after you finish holding blue and do the entire skill, you should always have ultimate online, so you just get to tack on that damage, and that's even more iframes to work with. So I just kind of approach this fight by opening up with Matrix and then basically kind of stalling out and seeing what she does. If she does a string that I know I can parry or something that's a simple attack to deal with, I just deal with it. And as soon as I see one of the attacks that's really obnoxious to try and get around and not take a lot of damage, then I just reprop my Matrix, hold blue, and repeat the process multiple times. So let's go through this. This covers just about anything that will happen in this fight. First thing, these little water blades that she brings up and throws are very simple to dodge. They'll have a little flash before they go off and you can dodge. She almost always opens with one of these to start every fight, so I just run up towards her and then immediately proc the Matrix and just take the free damage to start the fight. If you do hold dodge into hold blue into ultimate, you're going to take off 10 plus bars to start the fight, so that just gets us over a tenth of the way through out the gate. As you can see out of this, just like the Overseer fight, whenever I finish up Ultimate, I like to go ahead and just dodge out of the way because sometimes you're not going to be able to see what attack is coming. In this case, she's finishing up the string where she throws multiple water blades all at once, and she's on the 3 water blade throw that ends this attack string, so I just dodge out of the way, and then that's that. So from here, like I said, I'm just going to kind of wander around, see what she wants to do. In this case, water blade spawns. This is an important little detail here. Let me back it up. One thing to watch out for in this fight is that it is very, very easy to bump up against the barriers of the arena, the invisible walls. This arena feels much smaller than Overseer's. I don't think it actually is, but it feels much smaller because you don't have the obvious boundaries. So when you run into the invisible ones, it's kind of jarring. So something to keep in mind is just be cognizant of the invisible boundaries, because if you get stuck against one of these and certain attacks come out, you're going to have a real hard time dealing with them. So just something to keep in mind. Since she's not doing anything, I'm going to take a few basics. When she's just kind of wandering around and occasionally summoning one water blade, I like to go up and just do like 2 to 3 basics to try to provoke her into doing something. I found the closer you stay to Chiko in this fight, the more likely she is to do strings that you can either parry or that are very easy to work around. Whereas if you sit at range and wait for your Matrix to come back up, there's a good chance she starts doing the multiple water blade throw. And for my salt, that is the most obnoxious attack to deal with. It's very hard to dodge it all cleanly. And if you do, you're going to spend your entire dodge gauge doing it. So I try to stay fairly close engagement with Chiko throughout the fight just to make sure that I'm encouraging her to go for more of the melee and parryable strings because that's just way easier to deal with. So in this case, teleports out. I'm just going to wait, see what she does. Another water blade comes in, going to wait, see what she does. Finally, she goes for a string, and since my Matrix has been up for so long, excuse me, and I haven't been doing anything, I'm like, let's just pop this now, go ahead and do it again. So hold dodge, hold blue, take all our damage, go ahead and pop the ultimate, and we're already a quarter of the way through the fight already. So I saw her not doing much, so I go ahead and take my basic strings, and now I wait to see what she does. She's going to do the parry string, so this is easy. You just, anytime she does this, you just, right after the red flash, just tap basic. The parry windows are not the biggest parry windows I've seen in PGR for this particular fight, but they're not egregiously hard either. So as long as you're just tapping as soon as you see the red flash, you should be able to parry both hits, get the stun. And since since I know the stun is not super long, I like to go up, just get a few basics in, and then see what she does. You can just run up and proc your Matrix and go into hold dodge, hold blue ultimate if you want, but I prefer to just take the free damage and then wait and see if she's going to do an attack where I really want to use Matrix to get out of it. So just like the other fights, really the secret to this is just being patient and playing reactive. As long as you're holding your Matrix for getting out of a bad situation, there are very few times in this fight where you're going to be in trouble. Like right here, this is another string. Like I could have parried this, but since I didn't recognize the animation right away, I'm like, let's just proc Matrix, take our damage, and we'll move on to another round here. So she does move away and gets a lot of armor. So this isn't going to do as much damage as I would like, but it still gives us the iframes and gives us a chance to deal with an attack. So this one is pretty easy to deal with. Dodge the throw and then dodge the swipe. Pretty straightforward. This one, so here's an important factor. If you get caught in the bubble, in the middle of doing like your Matrix or something, because this can actually hit you even when you are in iframes, don't panic. I found the only thing you need to do if you get caught into the bubble is just stop what you're doing and tap dodge. And then when you do that, the bubble passes back to Chiko, and you can continue whatever you're doing. So I started holding dodge. Let's go back a little bit so you can kind of see how this works. So I'm going to pause here. And you see we go in, dodge this, and I go ahead and just keep holding dodge to proc Matrix and do the whole dodge. Well, right at the same time, she puts me in the bubble. So what I do is just briefly, I will let off dodge and tap it a couple times. And then you'll see the bubble passes back to Chiko. And from here, I just continue holding dodge like I was and build up my blue orb. I don't know if this is exactly how this mechanic is supposed to work because it's not one of the ones that's listed in her tooltips. But I found that every time I've gotten caught in the bubble, if I just tap dodge a couple times, it breaks me out and lets me continue what I'm doing. And usually the bubble just goes into Chiko and you kind of have free reign to do what you want. So I do that, proc Matrix, take my blue orb, and just lay a bunch of damage down. So if you're ever caught in the bubble, don't panic. Just tap dodge a few times. You should get out of it very quickly. So same thing after an ultimate, I move back out of the way because it's so hard to see what attack is going on while the ultimate animation plays out. So in this case, I just run away and she starts the big multi-swipe attack. No harm, no foul. Super easy to avoid. So here, just kind of wasting time waiting for Matrix to come back online, dodging the blades. She goes ahead and starts doing the multi-throw. This is the multi-throw attack I'm talking about, the one that I think is quite possibly her most obnoxious one. So if you see her leap into the air like this and you see the blade flash, that's where she's going to throw like one blade and then two more blades back to back and then two more blades back to back, and then she throws three that spread out. And if you get hit by any of these, you kind of just get comboed into all of them. And for whatever reason, maybe I'm just not understanding the easy way to dodge this attack, but I think I have cleanly dodged this sequence without Matrix like once. So if you have a good way of dealing with this, please let me know in the comments because I would love to share that with everyone because this for me was the single most obnoxious attack in the fight by far. So in this case, I'm just like, well, let's just Matrix through it and I don't have to deal with this anymore. So same thing, hold dodge, hold blue, take the ultimate, and we're already down to less than 40%, so pretty good progress so far. So in this case, she teleports. Just going to chill, dodge a blade. We're going to chill, dodge a blade, see what she does. Goes underwater, and she's starting the, is this the meteor attack? Nope. This is just the teleport. And then she goes into the parry string, which I automatically parry, because hold blue will just do that for you. The ultimate parry is the other part, so this is just free damage afterwards. And then here's the one attack that you have to dodge to get the one achievement mission. And like I said, this attack is super free. Like, you can run away from it. You just dodge through the tentacle. I'm surprised it's a mission. It's really easy to dodge. So you'll do that one for free on accident. Almost guaranteed. So in this case, I wait for her to throw the blades. Go ahead and pop Matrix again. Hold down blue. Take our damage. And we see we're almost done with the fight already. Get hit by this one. I didn't realize it was the parry. And this is why I say this is the most forgiving of these fights. Because, yeah, I just took a bunch of damage. And, yeah, I got hit. But it literally has no impact on finishing all the missions. So you can make a flub and get hit by one of her attacks coming out of an ultimate or something. And you're no worse for wear. So this is one where it's like, if you take some hits, don't panic. As long as you finish the fight, you're going to finish off the missions. So that's all that really matters. My Matrix comes back up. I realize I don't even have to try and deal with what she's doing. The blue parries automatically. Ultimate comes out. GG. Very, very straightforward. Very, very simple fight. So, like I said, even doing a guide for this is probably completely unnecessary. I doubt anyone is super struggling with this fight, but just in case people are, I figure we're going to be thorough, show all 4 fights and how to get all the missions out of them. But this one really, there's no like secret sauce to this. As long as you're just patient and react to what she does and then use your Matrix to get through attacks that you have trouble dealing with, this fight kind of plays itself out. The only string that she didn't really show in here is the big attack where she goes up in the sky and she starts calling down the water meteors. My strategy for dealing with that is just start running towards her and running, just don't stand in any of the AoE circles where the meteors are going to fall. And after you've seen 2 or 3 meteors fall, just proc your Matrix from there and you'll iframe through the rest of the attack and not have to worry about getting clipped by any of the random meteor falls or any of the splash damage. And it's really easy to deal with. As long as you're not just trying to proc your Matrix the second it comes off cooldown and you're being a little patient and waiting for an attack to proc Matrix through and get your damage in, this fight will clear itself out. This one really is quite straightforward once you get down to it. And once you've seen the attacks, probably the hardest part of this fight is just learning the parry timings for the parry attacks. And like I said, if you don't want to try and learn all those attacks, you can just avoid them and just wait to do like your hold blue orb for when she starts one of those strings, and it's going to auto parry, but like all 2 or all 3 hits depending on which parry string she did. So pretty easy fight. Shouldn't be too hard to get all the missions out of, but if you're struggling a little bit, hopefully this helps you out some. And yeah, I'm just going to keep this one short and simple because it doesn't need a lot of explanation. So if you got any questions, leave those down in the comments. I will try and have the other 2 fights up this week so you have some time to clear out those fights before the event ends 2 weeks from now. And yeah, I think that's all I got for this one. So yeah. We'll keep working on these. I will continue working on the lore guide. Nick's lore video is taking a little bit longer than I would like. I just haven't had as much free time to sit and record all the footage, and I have not started fully scripting yet. So lore video probably will not be out till February at some point, but I will be working on that quite a bit as soon as I am done with my commentary work at Frosty Faustings at the end of the month. So All right, that's good enough for this one. As always, if you got any questions, leave them down below. If you want to do all the YouTube garbage, like, comment, subscribe, feel free. It's always appreciated. It's never necessary. And yeah, I will see you in the other two guides. And until then, y'all be safe, be good to each other, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.